What up? What up? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well on this Friday. Very last minute, very short notice. Feedback on your music stream sponsored by Boombox. Boombox is the best file sharing platform that I've ever had to use for music. Imagine using, your distributor. Can't even talk today. Imagine your distribution, file sharing, community, all in one. Check them out. But where are you guys messaging in from? Looks like we got some chats here. But thank you as well for the love on the latest vocal production video. I definitely want to get more into the educational side of things. If you guys don't know, I have a couple different coaching programs going on. I'll get more into that later. But it's been nice to try to bring some more of that coaching to YouTube. So definitely look forward to just more and being more of a resource. So the way this is going to work, there's a really big lag on the stream, by the way. So sorry about that. But the way that this is going to work, I'm going to count to 5 and I want you guys to put your song out there, right? The first 5 songs that I see on my end, that's what we're going with. We're going to do this a couple times tonight. If this is your first feedback on your music live stream, we don't always get to everybody's song, but I try to get to as many as I can before I get too sleepy. So get ready to send your song, the exact file name that you submitted to Boombox in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and put your songs in the chat. And I'm going to notate them as they come through on my end. All right, we have Merit Badge, Dark Earth, Borderline, Nothing That You Can't Do, and then Really Real. So those are going to be the first 5 songs that I'm playing. Let's go ahead and turn the tasty jams down a little. And let's get into this, guys. Got Buster barking in the background already. So the first song, let's find Merit Badge. Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and just give this a test play real quick. Just give me thumbs up if you guys hear it coming through on your end.
Something about the future.
So right off the bat, I love the atmosphere that you put us through in the beginning. Very natural, very ambiguous as well. Like I thought this was going to be a cinematic song, but just to go right into kind of like that lo-fi R&B pop. The only thing that's like standing out that I'm like, ooh, I don't like that is the little vocal artifact right here as it's coming in. Hear that? That's not me making that mouth noise. Right there. I would just remove that. But tonally, everything sounds pretty good so far.
It's something about the future. Yeah. It's the days coming my way, thinking how I need you to explain what you're trying to say. I go through the motions. emotions. I float like a boat through the ocean. Hope I can get to your place. But I'm choosing to cruise with the tunes I'm producing. They moving like cars in a chase.
Man, playing wise, performance wise, this is a solid ass performance. This is really good so far. It definitely is a little quiet. Let me double check, make sure all my volume's good. I'm okay that it's a little quiet though. I know some people in the chat are mentioning that it's fairly quiet. As well as the vocals. I think the vocals are just a little too dry. I don't think like making a very present reverb is the right call, or really present effects. Like I really like the tightness and the intimacy, how close the vocals feel, how intimate these vocals feel. But just adding some EQ'd reverb under that, because you have these other pretty reverbed out elements that are going throughout the song. Just coming up here and there, like it's really nice texture. It's really nice ear candy, right? Just, I would put the vocals a little closer to that world. Don't go full that world. Like I don't think super reverbed out vocals are necessarily the move, but just bridge in that space a little tighter. But this is really, really good so far.
Well, and I'm not too complicated. Tell me what it takes to go with all my obligations. Focus on the frame. Yeah.
I like the naturalness of the drum sounds as well. They're very tight. They're very crisp. I would be a little more process heavy on these drums, mainly with that high end. Because everything else is very warm. The bass is very warm. The background elements are warm. The percussive elements are warm. Your vocals are the bright thing that is standing on top of that. And your drums, because of how bright they are in this context, is kind of, I wouldn't say it's competing with your vocal, but the drums are like, hey, I'm a very bright thing. Your vocal's like, hey, I'm also a really bright thing. So not having like a bridged gap between those two bright things makes the drums feel a little under-processed. So I'll just put like a high cut on there, just a little bit, just to smooth out some of those highs.
I'm busy preaching what I practice, but I don't know how to speak. Hoping for some traction, floating on my feet, that's what I need.
Yeah, if you took care of those drums a little different, like made them a little more electronic sounding, or sample based rather. They're just a little too stark with everything else going on. Oh, and looks like you commented, these are scratch vocals, gonna throw in some doubles and harmonies with the final recording. If you layer with if you layer with harmonies and doubles, I think it might sound better as a dry. Kind of do like a Mac Miller sort of thing with it. That's where I see this.
Strike the match. Which path to go? I passed all my classes, driving slow but faster than the traffic. Glad to see I'm right between.
This is very Mac Miller. This is very. I have a big Mac Miller guy over here. This is very, very Mac.
Riding free but blinded by the lights. I gotta navigate my mind to make some time and give it all away to my passion. What? It's how it goes when the doors are shut. Don't know about you, but a nice kind of view might push me to save a buck. Come and break through with a stroke of luck. Got the same clue, but it's broken up. 9 times out of 10, hit the high road, and I might go with a new way to open up. Yeah, and I don't know how to fight the fear. I came to with a life to steer.
If you really want to take it Mac, during this part, like, because the rap part is nice. You have a really, really good flow, and it feels pretty natural. It doesn't feel forced. But to separate this part, because it does like go on for quite some time that you're rapping, and everything else is pretty consistently the same. During this part, the most Mac thing that you could do that I think would add the most flavor is to add vocal harmonies. It's like some kind of solid chords of vocals on top of this section of the rap. Whereas like the first section, fairly dry, fairly on your own. Second section, start layering those harmonies to sing along with what you're rapping. That is such a Mac thing to do that I think would be such a killer thing to do to the song. Just my 2 cents.
9 times out of 10 hit the high road, and I might go with a new way to open up. Yeah, and I don't know how to fight the fear. I came to with a life to steer. So much to bear, but don't fret, I'ma make it there. Yeah. Well, I'm busy preaching what I practice, but I don't know how to speak. Which way
For these parts, for like the choruses, I would add a little more of some kind of stereo pad element that kind of just lifts us up and brings everything together. Because the whole entire song, the grooves have been very linear. Like it doesn't really sound like two elements are hitting at the same time. Everything sounds like it's shuffling around and has a really, really good pace and feel. Like it feels like you're playing with pros in this song. Like every musician feels like they play their instrument at a world-class level, and they know exactly how to restrain. They know how to fit in the pocket of everything. But what really help these choruses is just to add another pad on the stereo that is just simple chords underneath everything to kind of solidify everything. Because you just got this thing going all around and nothing's really concrete. Adding those pads would make it concrete, and it would really, really lift this chorus, I think.
that's what I need. I'm going home to lay my head down. I hope I get to sleep. Which way to go? I left town to focus on my dream. That's what I need. That's what I need. Yeah. So many walls.
Dog, if you need a co-producer on this, let me know. Let me know. I would like to work on this with you. If you need it, just tell me. If not, I'll leave you alone. But I like it. I like it a lot. I find myself like not really focusing on things to critique, because like obviously I've said enough, I think, about like the drums, about the dry vocals, but because of the performance itself, like I find myself kind of just getting lost in it in a very, very good way. And this has a lot of potential to, I think, be a little more airy and to be a little more uplifting with some of the stereo elements. And I just, there's a lot of different directions that you can go with this, but keeping it simple and keeping it intact. Like if I'm like this in love with the sound at something that feels very minimal, think about like the 80-20 rule. Like 20% of the instrumentation and of the arrangement and everything else going on is going to do 80% of the work, right? This does that so effectively. This is such a good vibe. Great vibe to start on. Yeah, like some of these elements, I would bring more of that out in this song. This is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, like we're ascending into the heavens now. But yeah, I would add more of like this kind of progression more throughout this song. Because right now, like once we get into the drum part and the rap part, there are different levels, but it's like from 3 to 5. Like the levels aren't really that different going on, right? but you add like some more of these swells throughout the rest of the whole thing and keep it progressing. We're constantly building up. My dogs are going crazy right now. Do you guys hear that? Good Lord. Let me go. I'll be right back. Sorry. It's not a squirrel moment. They're being loud and disruptive. Sorry about that. But seriously great song. Love that that's what we started with. Let's move on to the next song, which is called Dark Earth. I really want someone to say that with a Australian or like a New Zealand accent. Dark Earth. All right. Ego says, hi. I was only able to get a decent take for the first verse. I've been having issues with my throat and I'm a terrible singer. Also, I really don't know why there's so much empty space in at the end. Something tells me this is going to be a fun listen, Ego. Let's hear it. I feel like I'm watching Goosebumps right now. Like the 90s Goosebumps. So you have a good sense of rhythm. Everything feels like it's moving forward. Really, really big level imbalance with everything going on, especially with that drum. Especially with the bass. It definitely takes over the rest of the impact of the drum, and rather the bass working with the kick and working with the drums, it kind of just clouds right all over it. It sounds like the start of a crime documentary, right? Like what's that one? My favorite is it Dangerous Women? Deadly Women? Oh, I love Deadly Women. There's one about this lady who went to Harvard and she like shot all of her coworkers and she like challenged them. She was like, do you know who I am? I went to Harvard. That's my favorite Deadly Women. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's keep going. So way too much clouding on your vocals. I hear what you say about being a bad singer, or you thinking that you're a terrible singer. You're not. You just don't sound very confident when you sing, because your notes are there. I mean, you need work obviously with your vocals, but you're not as far off as I think you interpret yourself being. I think, yeah, there's kind of it's a weird sound where nothing really feels as cohesive. Because one, there's a big level imbalance, and two, the other thing that I'm hearing, I think you got way too much going on. I know that this like kind of genre of like darker, is it new wave or first wave? What's this genre called? But I know that there's a lot of elements within songs like that. You just have a lot of different melodic variation going on. Like the synths are doing one thing, the vocals are doing another thing, the bass is doing this thing. There's just all these different melodic elements, and it's kind of taken away from the main point of everything. The most cohesive and steady thing in this is the drums, but unfortunately, it's just so clouded by the bass. It's hard to make everything out. I think your sound selection as well could be a little better. The body of the kick, sorry, that was kind of gross. But that sound of it, those frequencies that are like really coming through on that kick are rubbing up with the bass, and they're just like kind of canceling each other out. Like I don't have that much of a sense of rhythm. The only thing that I'm like grabbing on to the rhythm while everything is going on is the snare drum. That's like the only thing that's keeping me going. Where with this, I think just like a sturdier kick drum, something that doesn't have as much sub and pulse within it, something that's more like 80s appropriate, like a tuned down Linn drum, for example. It sounds like it's made in Logic. If it's not in Logic, my apologies. But there is an electric drum patch called Neon. If you're in Logic, try Neon out on this. I think it might be a little more genre appropriate. But yeah, just work on your levels. Work on your levels. Everything's kind of interfering with each other. Your progression and arrangement are really, really interesting as well. Actual like chord progressions, structure of things, it's moving. I just think if we had stronger sounds and everything was a little more cohesive, I would feel the impact of us moving a lot more. But because things are competing, I'm more distracted about that than following the actual song itself. The snare feels a lot better there, just with that extra oomph added. This whole section, just without that extra layering on the snare, just kind of sounds like a little click. I feel like it doesn't really come through. But once you layer that right here, this section right here is the best sounding part of the song so far. This is the most cohesion that I've heard so far of the track. So yeah, very interesting song. Yeah, it just not much feels too cohesive in this. I know I keep saying that. I sound like a broken record at this point talking about this song not being cohesive. I think what would help make it feel more cohesive, take a shot every time I say cohesive, sound selection, right? Like I said, this ending right here, this whole part here to me was the most effective because I felt like the elements worked the best with each other. Things felt cohesive and they felt impactful because I feel like they were layered right more. Whereas this whole beginning, it felt like the song was kind of just like discovering itself and seeing what layers go best here. And then by the time we got to the end, that's when we learned what better layers went together. But yeah, otherwise, like really, like I said, the structure of this was really, really interesting. I never felt like I was stuck in one place. Even like this whole last section was just instrumental. Like I did not feel like I was stuck in an instrumental because of how dynamic the structure was. So that had it going really, really good for it. But let's move on to the next one. Next track is Borderline. All right. We got Borderline. This is from Yego. Hello, Trev. I bring you a rough demo now with no drums. No drums. No synths, nothing epic, just a guitar and more like a vocally song. Okay. Honestly, don't know what to do with this one. I do see it as an outro of some record, but production-wise, it's getting hard for me to think about that. That's why it's just a vocal and a guitar for now. When I listen to it, I feel that I could draw inspo from Skinny by Billie Eilish, but I don't know what else. It's like a cute little indie song, but I also don't want to lose pop in it. You know, this one is in Spanglish, and it's about a conversation between my future self and my present self, like a love letter to myself saying that everything will be okay. And then here are the lyrics. So let's take a listen.
Nos separan 3 veranos. Sé que ahora son extraños. Está difícil de tu lado, pero no eso es en mano.
Your vocal tone is so good. It's so good. I believe you. I believe you. I don't speak Spanish personally, but I believe you. That's a believable performance. I can hear the emotion that you're trying to convey within this. The only thing, the guitar is a little too dull because these vocals are so bright and they are so processed that it's such a stark difference between the kind of low res acoustic guitar, right? So I would try to either, I don't think I would try to match the vocals to the guitar. I think I would try to match more the guitar to the vocals. That way you can still preserve the pop in it, you know, that you're wanting to keep in there. But right now, it feels like a very, very strong song. All a good song is a good chord progression and a good melody. If you have that, production wise, sky's the limit. You could take that anywhere. It's better to produce a good written song that makes sense, singable, than to try to build something from it. I've switched that approach and it works so much better. But let's keep going.
Piensas que estás destinado a tanto caos y tu pecado. Será siempre pensar que estás solo, solo, only you can see the light.
Dude, oh my God, that whisper. Holy shit. Oh, okay. All right. Let me back that up a little bit.
So lonely you can see the light. Trust me, you will bloom so wide. So lonely you can see the light. Trust me, you will bloom so wide.
You know what I would do there? Because if you want to still like keep the acoustic thing, I think it could be so simple. Take the John Bellion approach. That's all you got to do. Really deep sub there. That's like kind of fucking rattling things. Just some really pushed out pads, but make that guitar and the vocal the main performance. Make that the main focus. Oh, my wife is here. She said, someone said something about Mac Miller. What did I miss? My love, somebody on the stream sounded like Mac Miller. Their song was very, reminded me of like Circles or a Swimming Mac. It was pretty good. But yeah, I think like some just heavy layers under this, just to give it like some ass. I think would be really, really impactful and very simple. It would maintain that simplicity. Let's keep going.
Trust me, you will bloom so wide. So lonely you can see the light. Trust me, you will bloom so wide. Seguimos por aquí luchando.
Diego, send me an email, please. Guys, you guys are bringing it this stream. Holy shit. Diego, I also want to work with you. Please. I dig this heavy, man. This is so good.
Y aunque los 22 sean largos, de los caminos ya tomados, vendrá el que tanto has deseado. Ya nunca esperarás amor, contigo suficiente no.
Yeah, some treatment on those backgrounds. Like if you just do the John Bellion approach, like just pitch those up, like adjust the formant, and then add a shitload of reverb and just like play within the background. Like, oh man. Oh man. There it is. Oh, is this what you're gonna do in this whole big part here?
Si no estás bien, todo está bien, todo termina al esperar. It's not that bad, si a veces das un paso más y dos atrás, eso dirías al estar cerca.
You're about to blow me away, aren't you?
Si no estás bien, todo está bien, todo termina al esperar. It's not that bad, si a veces das un paso más y dos atrás, eso dirías al tener que estar en borderline. Si no estás bien, todo está bien, todo termina al esperar. It's not that bad, si a veces das un paso más y dos atrás, eso dirías al tener que estar en borderline.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Damn. Please, Diego, send me an email. Damn, dude. Yeah, that is such a great starting point for a demo. I can easily hear this being a big song, dude. I am not just saying that. I fully believe that, again, taking kind of like the John Bellion approach to a track like this could make it a huge, huge song. Man, what a great performance all around. Like, again, there's a language barrier. I don't speak Spanish, guys. All right, I don't. But I could feel it. I felt it. All right? And when you feel it, language doesn't matter. Someone said definitely like this better than Borderline by Madonna. I should listen to Borderline next. Guys, oh my God. I played copyrighted music on last stream. They ripped it apart. That thing got blocked. All because I played... I think I started the stream off with Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. All right, next song is Nothing You Can't Do. Here we go. All right. Kind of first time using harmonica. Oh boy, Jacob. I'm the harmonica guy. Came to the right person. Making a fully acoustic song, so it's kind of new using my voice this way. All right, let's take a listen.
1, 2.
Oh my God. You had to flex on us? Dude, I'm 28. I'm waiting for my voice to drop. You just flexed on me. That's why I feel like Wyatt Earp would introduce a song. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. Let's go.
1, 2. I didn't know what love was. You made me feel it, oh baby. I want you in my arms. The world revolves around you, my darling. There's nothing that you can do.
All right, couple things. Let's talk context, right? These vocals are very hard tuned. When the harmony comes in, like it sounds fairly good when the harmony comes in to kind of support all of that. Your voice is so particular and it's so distinct that I think you kind of have to be a little more careful with the hard tuning there. Because again, if this is like a natural acoustic song, having it that processed and that tuned can get in the way. One thing about this track, again, if it's acoustic, it doesn't feel like an acoustic song because one, like I said, vocals are hard tuned. Two, the guitars are DI, and I mean, an acoustic guitar is made out of wood. There's a lot of tones within that wood. The strings vibrate through the wood and produce a certain sound, right? There's a nice natural element to capturing that. So because of how processed everything is, it doesn't allow it to feel natural, right? So the vibe is to do an acoustic thing, record those acoustic elements, right?
It seems to be mildly hard to part from you, baby. I'm eager to get used to you.
The vocals are also very upfront, and it throws me off because your voice, like I said, is very distinct. It just has this quality that stands out. And because of how loud and upfront it is and how processed and how tuned, nothing about this vocal feels natural. It just feels way too close and very, very monotone as well. So I would back off the dynamics a little bit. I would back off the leveling a little bit. I would, again, record real life acoustic instruments instead of the DI. Because right now your vocal especially is the base of the song. There's no low end whatsoever body to the acoustic guitars, and it's making your vocal just sound that much closer to everything that's going on. We want the acoustic guitar to support your voice, not for your voice to take over everything else, right?
The world revolves around you, my darling. There's nothing that you can do.
I would also, while you're recording the harmonica, I would be kind of careful about how close you get to the microphone. When you blow a little harder, I would back away from the microphone. Sure, you can compress to get the levels similar, but we want to shoot for getting the best possible performance at the microphone, so we do the least amount of processing. If this is supposed to be natural, we want the least amount of processing. So I would just kind of step back with that harmonica, because when the harmonica gets too loud, it's like, it's kind of disruptive, right? So I would focus on that as well.
There's nothing that you can't do. 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 My darling, I'm telling you.
You have such a unique voice. I really think vocal lessons would do you wonders, because that who's that guy that everybody loves right now? Is it Alex Warren? Is that the guy? That's one of the guys. I'm sure there is someone named Alex Warren. But your voice isn't too far from there, and with proper using your voice like correctly. I'm not a vocal coach. My vocals suck. I hate my voice. But working with the vocal coach and getting some techniques down, getting some proper lessons, how to use your breath, how to hold out notes. Like, again, think about the last song that we just listened to. There's so much emotion in those vocals because the vocals, they're not just here the whole time. They get softer, they get a little louder, and they're more dynamic than just a performance this whole time. So someone else to help you show that, or show you that rather, I think would be really, really beneficial for you, because it's a great idea. The harmonies as well work really well for it, but I think you just need to be a little more comfortable with your own voice, if that makes sense. Let's move on to the next song, gang, which is the 5th song before we go to a little ad break from our buddies over there at Boombox, which you can get 10% off using my code, or just click the link. If you're a working industry professional, you will need it. All right, next song is Really Real. If this is not Kevin Gates, I might have a problem. They ask him if he's lying. He say really, really. So if this is not really, really, I have a problem. All right, Ryan Deck says, hey, Trev, last stream you played my song Wasting Away, and I really took that feedback to heart. Vocals still aren't where I want them to be, but I tried to play around with the vocal production and still working on the vocal technique every day. Fun fact, got a non-equity acting audition on Sunday for singing. I don't know what that means, but good luck. What's a non-equity acting audition? This person's very confused about it. Maybe you can just tell me in the comments. The song is a lot of Linkin Park and My Chemical Romance vibes, which is super different from the ELO type. Oh, okay. The ELO type track I sent last time. Really proud of the production on this one, as I don't know how to play guitar and all the guitars are synthetic. Well, Ryan Deck, let's take a listen. You had such a strong start. The very first thing, I would not drop this build up all the way down like that. I would preserve it a little more, because restarting all the way back from 0 kind of takes away the oomph of what we were left with. We want to have some of the remnants of that first build up. But drum sound selection. Ugh. The drums are just so lost. Everything else sounds pretty freaking cool. But drums. If you want the Linkin Park MCR vibes, you got to have some impactful drum sounds in there.
When you don't know that the storm is coming for you.
Way too loud, my friend. Those vocals are out there. They are here. Right here. They're going to get you. Just way too loud, way too dry. Again, if everything else is big and bombastic and your vocal is just kind of dry and vulnerable and on its own in the middle, it's just going to sound like a weak performance. Layer it. Get a little more oomph into it. You're singing this. These songs should be more aggressive sounding. It's about a believable performance, right? Love to hear more aggression.
And when you don't know how to cut the wire, it'll blow up next to you. So all my life, I've been trying to cut it down. So when it went, please don't let me down.
Again, the performance here, you kind of sound like you're singing, and you don't want people in the next room to hear you. Like it's very up in here, up in your head singing voice. I don't know anything about singing. I think they call it your head singing voice. I don't know. But no, like put your chest into it. It's an aggressive song. If you want Linkin Park MCR, what's the main quality of those two bands? Linkin Park, you got Chester, ripping vocals, aggression, power, oomph, confidence. MCR, you got Gerard Way, right? You don't have to necessarily scream these things. It's just about the attitude. You want the attitude of the vocal to match the performance, because otherwise it sounds more like musical theater, right? Which if that's the vibe, then you got it. But I think that you can be more confident with the way that you're delivering these vocals, right?
Started off pretty tame, and then it got really real. I finally stopped lying to myself and woke myself right up.
Yeah, level-wise, everything is also competing. Thankfully, you can hear the main idea. But we want to make sure there's cohesion, because again, a part of these band sound, Linkin Park and MCR, it's a band. There's no drummer in this. It's all just guitar and bass, right?
When they're all watching and when they're all waiting, who's keeping track of the time? Days to the weeks and weeks to the month, is singing the same old rhyme. So all my life, I've been trying to cut it down. So when it went, please don't let me down. Started off pretty tame, and then it got really real.
And we all know that the vocals are too loud, right? But listen to one, how close you are on the microphone, and then the actual gain of the microphone too. Because like you are right here up on the microphone and it's clipping as well. And you can't clean that up. So one, you're too close. Two, your gain is too much. I think what would really help you and what would really get you comfortable is just recording on a blank session, be in your room or in your studio, wherever you create this music, and just shout. Just get comfortable with it. It's like shock therapy or exposure therapy for recording vocals. Like I think you just need to get over that hump of being tucked in like this and not wanting people over in this room to hear you when you're doing your vocals. Like, no, if you're gonna sing something, especially what's a non-equity acting audition for singing, you want to convey. You want to be loud. You want to be a little more aggressive, right?
I finally stopped lying to myself and
Yeah, someone just said, also sounds like you're trying not to wake up anyone in the house. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If it's a rock song, it should be waking up people in the house. Right?
woke myself right up. Everything was free till they locked us in a cell. Everyone's lives became a living hell. Everything was tame and then became real. And that's why I left when I got into my feels.
If you're going to rap, you got to be confident. You need more vocal confidence, and it takes time. All right. I've been singing for 20 years and I'm still not confident. But yeah, it just, I got to feel that confidence from you. You got to understand that you can sing on pitch, right? But you got to put the feeling behind that voice, especially if you're going to rap. All right. Especially if you're going to rap.
started out pretty tame, and then it got really real. I finally stopped lying to myself and woke myself right up.
So a lot of interesting layers. I think like you definitely got like the Linkin Park scratch tables and DJ sounds and like all these background effects. I seriously think the best thing that would help you, like I said, just get that microphone confidence. Sing with effects as well. That's another way to really, really get comfortable with recording your vocals. All right. Everybody in this chat, if you guys, why'd you send me a song directly to me? Follow the rules. Goober. Don't send me a song directly. Anyway, if you guys record or have struggles with recording vocals and kind of being comfortable with it, put on some light processing, put on some light effects, nothing that's going to like run your CPU super high. If you guys follow Make Pop Music, check out, I think like 3 videos ago of his, he did one on vocal production, or maybe it's like production tips that can help you. And his first thing is, recording with vocal effects. It just helps you get a little more natural with it. But we're about to take an ad break real quick here. When I come back, I'm going to ask you to send me your songs. Do not send me your song right now or tell me. For those of you who are new, the way that we do this is once I ask for the songs, basically the first 5 that I see on my end, that's the songs that I pick. So you just want to be ready. But here's an ad break. I'll be right back.
Replace Dropbox, Google Drive, SoundCloud Pro, Disco, and DistroKid with Boombox, the all-in-one solution for musicians. Store your files, create playlists, request files, and distribute your music from one place at a single price. Access files on the go and stay synced with our mobile app and macOS app. Dive into our AI tools to spark creativity by generating chords and splitting stems. Search for your files by mood, genre, BPM, and key with our AI-powered advanced search. Share and collaborate with time-stamped feedback, password protection, and customized access permissions. Create professional playlists for pitching with analytics to see who's listening. Release your music into the wild with our inbuilt distribution. And request files from clients and collaborators with inboxes. Boombox, the all-in-one platform for musicians.
Okay. So I'm about to ask for it, but real quick before I do, just one more plug. Actually, no, I'll plug this later. Never mind. All right, get ready to send me your song in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, first one I see is Come Back to Me. And also, if your song was already reviewed on this stream, 1 song only per person, please. You Make Me Weak, Keep It Down, All Right, V2. And what was after that? Roland Sweeney, It's Not Right. So those are our next 5, my friends. All right. Let's get into it. Thank you everyone for joining, by the way. I don't feel like I thank you guys enough for actually submitting music. It's I really, 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 really love helping other people out with their music. I'm a fellow traveler. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm just someone who wants to help people with their music in any way that I can. So I appreciate you guys taking a chance to get some feedback. So first song is Come Back to Me. Hey Trev, I started this project a few months ago and have been working away at it for quite some time now. I started creating music about 2 years ago when I was 12. So you're 14. Your videos were super inspirational and always motivated me to create something. The song is about someone leaving when the other person knew they shouldn't be leaving. I think the lyrics and melody could use some work as well as the vocals, but I'm happy with the production. I don't know, it might be a bit repetitive. This is a song that I'm really proud of, even though I'm still adding more, and I hope you enjoy. Also, for some reason, Logic bounces out the MP3 with a lot of empty space, so the track actually ends at 2:36. Guys, thank you for not sending 10-minute songs. Thank you for all the 2.5 minute to 3 minute-ers. Appreciate it. Let's take a listen.
It's been a while since you moved out. I'm in my
Why do all you guys put, like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of putting high cuts on the master. All right. But I feel like a lot of you guys put like a high cut on the master all the way down to like, like 8K. I definitely want to hear more of the brightness of it. I like the cool sounds. Like it reminds me of, there's this really niche genre I like to listen to called mall soft. You guys ever hear of mall soft? But yeah, I really miss some of the brightness of this. I think that high cut is really masking a lot of good tonal qualities. Like you could do the VHS effect if that's what you're after. But it's kind of clouding your vocals and making for more of a weak performance when I know that this performance is much better than what the high cut is doing to it, right? Let's keep going.
head deep in my self-doubt. There's this empty feeling I can't ignore. Reminiscent of the coffee shops, all the memories that we forgot.
So the hard thing about, I think it's a cool vocal because of how I think like the over processing for this works. What I think is not helping is because you have so many drifting elements. Not everything can be spacey and drifty. We need something to kind of reel us back to the middle. Because yeah, it's when everything is floating off into space, we kind of lose the center idea. So just be careful about how much reverb and delay you're putting on your vocals and everything else for the matter, right? Because we don't want to get lost in the sauce.
Way too long ago. I've been a cycle of women be idle, I know. I can't let you go.
Really good melody. Really good. I like that. That was cool. Again, as far as I would revisit processing, it sounds like just everything's over processed. There's like a really consistent sound. I should probably make a video on this. Because that's a big mystery I'm trying to figure out, why a lot of people's songs that submit to this sound like this. Maybe I'll do a video where I audit someone's Logic session and talk to them about it. That'd be a pretty good video. Cause yeah, it's a mystery to me why there's always this weird cloudy high end missing from a lot of tracks. And don't get me wrong, like it doesn't need to be high end focus, but just I'm always curious about why things sound the way that they do. Because yeah, your vocal doesn't really feel like it meshes with the music itself. It kind of feels like it's just separate at this point now too. Let's keep going.
The world's moving faster, but I still can't get over you.
I think as well some different vocal energy during this too. Because you have a really nice soft voice. And for the first verse, I think the emotion conveyed pretty well. But during this, you're still kind of in that same register of emotion and same register of energy. I would push it a little further. I would be a little more vocal about it, right?
When will you come back to me? Come back to me.
Something as well, those vocal oohs are really, really nice. But we don't really have anything that bridges to that frequency area. Like those are pretty high focus. They're very airy. And everything else is existing in this smaller frequency area down here, right? We need something to bridge the gap to get to that highs. Otherwise, it's too stark of a contrast here. It's too big of a difference. So I would either make something currently existing in this track closer to those ooh vocals, or add another element that doesn't really distract but bridges that gap. This is the best part of it so far. This is where I feel like everything is working really well together. That's really nice. So because of how nice this last part sounded, that tells me that it's probably the drums that need to be a little more bridged between the high end. So probably have different sounds, maybe softer sounds, but have a little more high end information there. Because yeah, otherwise it just sounds like everything's in this one area. Because that little last few seconds there, that was pretty good. That felt very, very good. But let's move on to the next. Appreciate you submitting. Hope the feedback helps in any way it can. The next song is called You Make Me Weak. Me to the garage door opener I'm currently putting up. You guys wouldn't get it. It's a garage door opener thing. All right, this is from Lee Hewitt. Lee Hewitt, I knew it. Lee Hewitt, I knew it. You'd be here. Can you guys tell that I'm a little tired? All right. Hi, Trev. If you see this, you pick my song again. Holy shit. How am I picking you guys multiple times? Give the newbies a fair shot, huh? This time I won't bore you with the whole Genius interview. Oh, shit. Okay. I remember this from last time. Yeah. This is a song I made just today, but will be yesterday. When you see this, is about a girl who pretended to be my friend and pretended to be my girlfriend. And then after all that, she wanted to be my friend again. And I was like, hell no. Hell no. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I used your feedback from last time and listened to this, so hopefully it's good. It was meant to be an indie pop song, but kind of sounds like an 80s song. I feel like it's also in the style of Somber. Also, fun fact, the two wah kind of sounds at the start. Throughout the song, I made them with my voice. I just sang ah in loud effects and plugins. Lot to read. Your Genius interview is getting shorter, Lee Hewitt.
You can't just pretend that we're friends. It doesn't work like that. I wish we were friends, but you ruined it.
Production-wise, it's cool. I think the vocals are falling flat here. With these streams, I'm talking about production. I don't want to go into lyrics of things because I suck at writing lyrics. When you get close to 30 and you have a pretty normal life, Sometimes it's hard to write about things. All right. So my lines are corny. I know some of my songs are very corny, and I'm okay with that. I like my songs. But the lyrics are, I feel like, overly simple and overly explanatory. Plus that paired with a very monotone, auto-tuned, pretty heavily tuned processed vocal like that. If you're going to do fairly simple lyrics, have a little more fluctuation in your voice, because otherwise the delivery is going to be fairly flat. But let's keep going. Yes, Ahab explained, right? That's an H, Ahab. Yep. Explained it perfectly. It's 2 on the nose. God, you guys make my yap sessions. You condense them so perfectly. Thank you, guys.
In my bed, in my head, while I sleep, I dream about how you make me awake. I dream about how you make me awake.
Also, you're singing one note the whole time. Switch it up. All right. Switch it up. If the lyrics are going to be a little too simple and things are heavily tuned, you at least got to be more expressive with your vocals and the notes that you hit there. Otherwise, like, it's a really fatiguing experience for a listener to kind of go through this. I know you can sing more than one note. I know you can. Explore. Where else can you go with this? How can you tell a story with this? Right?
You left me for another. You said we could still be friends.
Yeah, you got to sing some other notes, my dude.
Was it too good to be true? Should I believe you? Look at me now. Do I think about you too much?
Also, again, if everything is here, we don't feel like we're going anywhere in the story. But this is an extended verse now, and we're still kind of in the same place. It doesn't feel like we're going anywhere. As a listener, I'm like, all right, we're still here. We still exist in this section. Throw me something different here. As a listener, I've experienced the same thing now for this long of the track. For 1:35, we've been at the same place pretty much. Throw me some little ear candy here. Do some cool stereo effects. Because yeah, otherwise you're going to fatigue your listener, right?
Is it wrong that I still do? How you make me awake? Make me
See, I told you you could sing different notes. I told you. That's where it is. More of that. The production itself is cool. All right. Is there things I can say about the production? Absolutely. But the vocals are so distracting that it takes away from how good the production in this actually is. So we want to make sure that the vocal is moving along with everything else. All right. Again, here, do something different because their song is ending. Ahab says the chorus needs a cowbell. Go crazy. Anything but that one note. That's what'll fix it. But yeah, like your production chops are good. It's just that you got to move that vocal. Because again, I compare, and Tim Martin is in the chat. Tim Martin is one of my production bootcamp students. Tim is incredible. He's the sweetest man on this earth, I think. But he can attest to how much I emphasize that your song needs to feel like a movie or a story, a poem, a painting. There should be some kind of movement to this. And because of the story just being not too on the nose, we'll use that. Because the story itself is too on the nose and the vocals stay there the whole time, we don't get to develop a story. We just kind of stay in this one place. Like, if you're pissed off about the situation, make me feel like you're pissed off, right? I want to feel what you feel. That's why I listen to songs, to feel, right? But appreciate you submitting. I would love to hear another track. Let's move on. Next is Keep It Down. Keep It Down is what, who's the other guy who was really quiet that submitted earlier? Which song was it? Was it Really Real or Come Back to Me? But Keep It Down is what the neighbors say anytime that person gets too loud. Guys, I'm sorry. All right, where is it? Make sure that when you guys send the songs, you're sending me the exact song title, right? Because otherwise now I'm looking for it. Looking for Keep It Down. Oh, okay. You did. That was on me then. My bad. I'll take full responsibility. Sorry. All right. So let's get into Keep It Down. Vocals definitely need some work, removing the breath and noises. It's a WIP. What's a WIP? Can someone tell me what a WIP is? Has some Oxytocin by Billie Eilish vibes. It was a music production school assignment, by the way. Tight deadline. Sound design and music production course in IPP, Portugal. I'm not Portuguese, though. Brazilian. That's good to know. All right, let's go. Oh, work in progress. Oh, my God. I'm so dumb. All right. Thank you, everybody. Are those the breath noises you want to remove? I feel like it's pretty easy to remove that. Am I going to get age restricted for this? Micah, if you're watching, honey, please. I swear, it's somebody's song. Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. I am sorry for everything that I said. That was fucking cool. I am so sorry. Holy shit. That was oh my God. Holy moly. Run it back.
blood rushing out. Wanna know what those hands are seeking? Go ahead and open that sweet mouth. About to give
Holy
you
shit.
a new feeling. Don't be scared, I won't let you down. This is their little dirty secret. Keep it spread, I won't let you down. Won't do it till I see you shaking. Come on, darling, I know you want to try me out.
I always say something about bricking something out the whole way. And I think even Tim mentioned the brick wall. I don't give a shit. This is awesome. The only notes I have, I think it'd be cool to hear your main vocal just a touch more aggressive, like tonally. But I have nothing to say about this. I have nothing to say. This is incredible. I love how over distorted and over processed everything is. It's got attitude. It feels really good, man. Wow.
Let me touch you here. You don't have to let no doubt.
Okay, yeah, okay. They're definitely over compressed vocals because of all the mouth noises there. So I would dial that back a little and just rely more on your layers, because your layers are going to take care of it. You're still going to have that same energy with all of those layers that you have. Yeah, I'll just dial back the processing a little.
You're not really my type, but you call me lacking. Let me see the smoke fly, come and call me daddy. Let me take you for a ride, we can share my brandy. Then I'll lead you from behind, get a little handsy. When I'm going, keep it down.
The stereo things going, they're really, really cool. I would just back the total volume on those back a little bit, because they have a lot of knock in them. It's just a little too loud. That knock is just a little too distracting, but just a tiny bit. Man, this song is fucking cool. This is cool.
When I'm going, keep it down. Shh, quiet. So you're looking and I knew I found the little rush that I've been seeking. Let me
During this part, since we already kind of visited a part like this, I would add some kind of like other, almost, again, if like the vibe is like, Billie Eilish, that kind of grunge pop, weird, dark and twisted sound. If that's the vibe, add some kind of like other synth to layer under this that just disrupts everything and really elevates it and separates it from everything else. Because, all right, we've been through this whole cool, gritty, really hard, impactful thing where things are dry, they're distorted. Let's switch it up by here. Otherwise, we feel like we're just kind of in the same song the whole way through.
feel it, but you can't be loud. Only I want to hear your breathing. Can you handle another round? Wanna see if you're pretty bleeding. We can do all that's not allowed. All I gotta do is hear you bleeding.
Yeah, just really, really cool effect. Just like I said earlier, the vocals are over compressed because you're really like the mouth noises. I think too, I'd be curious to hear, I have this issue. I over salivate. All right. That's my secret, guys. Secret's out. I spit all the time and it's obnoxious and I hate it. And it makes me really bummed out that that's what I do in life. So whenever I record vocals, or if I'm ever recording videos or lessons, I have to overhydrate because I'm curious about how many of these mouth noise are just from the source, right? That we're lifting because of the compressor, right? So I would try to hydrate more in lessons. If the vocal mouth noises are really like prevalent during just the tracking phase, hydrate a little more. You might be hydrated. Actually, everyone in the audience, everyone in this chat, hydrate.
But you call me lacking. Let me see the smoke fly. Come on, call me daddy. Let me take you for a ride. We can share my brandy. Then I'll lead you from behind. Get a little handsy. When I'm going, keep it down. When I'm going, keep it down. Come on, darling. I know you want.
Again, adding some other element here just to break it up. We did get a nice break. I think it was like around here, but just getting another little break with some kind of new element to let us know that we're in a different section. Because we can't keep relying on the vocals, right? Have some more musical cues of where we are in the song.
Want to try me out. Let me touch you here. You don't have to have no doubt. Can you feel the blood rushing down? Wanna know what those ends are seeking? Go ahead and open that sweet mouth. About to give you this brand new feeling. Don't be scared, I won't let you drown. Just stay a little dirty secret. Keep them spread, I won't let you down. Won't do it till I see you shaking. Take off your clothes.
Not on my stream! There are children watching! Anyway. Seriously, this is a really, really cool song. Like I said, just throw a little more layers of chords and a little less of the bass the whole time. Just add a couple like few more musical layers within here just to separate these pieces up a little bit. But this was fucking cool. This was a cool song. Everyone loves it too. Look at the chat. All right. Next song is going to be All Right, V2. How am I supposed to listen to this if I didn't hear? Oh, wait. Is it Almost Me? Did I misread that? All Right, V2. There's Almost Me, V2. Did I mess up? Oh, here it is. You guys and your V2s, man. By Ryan Deggart. Let's take a listen. Oh, Ryan Deggart. Sorry for the 5-minute song. I didn't even notice. Damn it, Ryan. All right. It's okay. It's okay because most of the people's songs, most of the songs we listen to have been short. We can handle a fiver, guys, right?
Trying to find a way to leave it all behind. All of my mistakes I can't even count. Hey, time has the power to heal everything.
Man, this is such a cool atmosphere. It's almost kind of like it's very much like The Weeknd. Maybe. I don't know. I don't listen to The Weeknd that much. But the only thing that's like throwing me off right here is that extra synth, that whoa, 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 the little thing in the background, just a little too bright. I feel like it doesn't really match the rest of the synths. I would get that sound a little more closer to like a softer bell or just a softer synth. I think it's just a little too aggressive for how it's moving, but everything else feels really good. It's really spacious. It's super vibey, very dynamic atmosphere. Just that little synth that to me is a little distracting.
You just have to let it take care of it. Hey, don't think about the past, just leave it there. You don't need to be scared. Oh, I mean it when I say don't be.
Some more vocal layers here, and just bringing the vocals down just a touch. I think it needs some more layers. But this is really, really intense so far in a good way. Like I feel like I'm moving with the song. It's doing its purpose. It feels really good.
Fine, you're gonna be alright.
I would layer those vocals. They're a little hard to hear. I don't think making them louder would necessarily do them justice because they're a little just dry. So I would add just a bunch of layers of the same vocal underneath that and just keep going to make more of kind of like a group vocal. I think that would make this part really more impactful. So you can just fly on that lead, and that's like your one and only vocal. You're going with that. And then you have a lot of support for the other vocals in the stereo field. I think that would really, really help. It does sound like Bo Burnham. This sounds like something from Inside. And I mean that in the best way possible. Jeffrey Bezos. Right? That was cool. Really, really enjoy the sound selection. Now it's going into like Joji.
Time can do that. Left all you've done behind, but it doesn't solve. It just closed the door.
I would take some of the highs out of your voice. We all felt that, right? Everybody in the chat watching this felt that. Like we all felt that together, right? That was really magical. And I would love to plagiarize that. that was so nice, man. That was nice.
Leaves it unload. You might
But yeah, taking off some of the highs on your vocal will make it a little less crispy.
after I said
Because listen to how like rich and warm all the other elements are. I think you want to get a little closer to that. But otherwise, like compression wise, level wise, they're good. Shrek says, I think Trev wants an email. I don't want an email for this one because I wouldn't really want to touch it because I like it as it is. It feels it just feels right, you know? Like I V2 is the one. I mean, okay, V3, get some of the highs out of the vocals. Just a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't touch this. I think that the layers work so well within this. Oops. Oh my God. Moment of silence. What the hell is this? Oh, you're doing a transition. The only other like super nitpicky thing, I would be a little softer with your vocals there in the end, like this whole section here. Just a little softer, a little back reserved because everything else is getting quieter, and that vocal's still a little too punchy there. But man, this was, man. I'm not going to lie. I didn't listen to a word you said in the song. I did not listen to a single lyric because I was so taken away by the instrumental. When I talk about telling a story with a song, right? This is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And again, like having a story, it doesn't always mean it's cinematic, right? But this flowed extremely well. This was awesome. Very awesome stuff. All right, we're going to listen to Roland Sweeney now. And Roland's song, It's Not Right. You know what? It is not right. Let's see here. Guys, I got to pee. Holy smokes. I put the song together. I am 16 going on 17. And it was my first finished track since this. I have made more and much better tracks. I thought I'd share this one. Check me out here. Well, if you made better ones, why didn't you send the better ones? You need to stabilize your voice there. I don't know if it's like the vibrato and the tuning effect or if that's your voice. It's just nothing sounds stable. So it makes it really hard to listen to what words you're actually saying there. And then it takes away from the track as well. Let's keep going. This track is 5 minutes, guys. Come on.
You can take more. What's the point of living a lie when you know it's not right? It's like a coin.
So besides the vocals, something else I keep hearing is these little cymbal risers. You want to be careful with using those a lot because usually a riser indicates a payoff. This was a riser and we're just back into where we were for the past 8 bars, right? So be purposeful. Don't just lead me up to something to just give me the same thing that we had before. Change it up. It doesn't mean it has to be like super impactful and like big and performative. It doesn't have to be that at all. It could be something as simple as just getting quieter with the dynamics, maybe just something different. Otherwise, I wouldn't throw in the transitions, right?
You tossed and you don't wanna fight. No, it's not right.
All right, I'm sorry. I wouldn't go there for that. Because the way the tuning is hitting on it, paired with how your voice, it sounds like a burp. And I know that that's not how you want it to sound. Like, listen to this. So I would find more where you're comfortable with singing and just try to deliver a very clear performance. All right. There's a lot of effects on this. It's masking from what really is going on. I can't make out what you're saying. So I would just try to be a little more confident with your vocals. Sorry, I burped. That's disgusting, guys. I'm sorry.
All you are is all you will become. Don't try to be more, 'cause you already enough.
It does kind of sound like Khalid a little bit.
All you need is what you have right here. The skin on your bones and the worth of your soul.
Yeah, through here, you got to do something different. Because right now, just everything is the same. And if everything's going to be the same for the next 5 minutes, you're really going to fatigue your listener here. All right. We're a minute in. Nothing has changed. Sure, there's different vocals, there's different lyrics throughout this, but we got to tell a story. All right. Right now, the sentences all read the same. Everything's in the same font. It's one run-on paragraph. That's what this feels like so far. Hopefully you change it up a little here soon. Again, damn it. if you're gonna rise it up, change it. Do something different. What are we risen for? I have something inappropriate to say, but I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. Cause yeah, you're just okay. I will say, all right. You're edging us the whole time, dog. All right. This track is edging. When's the payoff? Right? When does it stop rising and it goes into another section? We're just getting the same thing over and over again. Trev is rizzing.
It's hard, but I know you can take more. What's the point of living a lie when you know it's not right? It's like a coin.
Come on. Give me something else. One, I think the song itself is too long. I think if you're gonna stay within the same chord progression, within sort of the same vocal range and everything, don't make the song 5 minutes long. And again, I believe in artistic expression, obviously. What the hell does it matter to me? I'm just a listener. But as the listener, I like collecting songs that I like to listen to again. And it's hard to find something rememberable from this. I'm like, oh, you know why I like that It's Not Right song? Because of this element or because of this and that. There's not really anything that's like recognizable in here because it's just the same thing the whole time, right? I think someone's wanting to come in the office. I think Buster Boy's out. I'm going to keep playing this. Let's let Buster in.
That you tossed and you don't wanna fight. No, it's not right. All this time you've been running from what? Something you actually want. Why can't you realize you're still alive? And that no matter what, you'll be alright.
All right, let's talk about that. What was all that there?
No matter what, you'll be alright.
So yeah, way too loud. It's clipping pretty hard, my friend. But that's something like that would be nice to have though. That difference, that other vocal. It's refreshing to hear. Put more of that throughout the song. Of course, level it right. Don't let it clip like that. I'm just begging for something else in the song, you know? Having 3-year-old tantrums because the song's not. I'm not getting a release after the thing. But yeah, man, it's just. I'm gonna move on to the next song. It's just dragging on for the whole time. Again, if it's gonna be this long, we got to change something up. Otherwise, we're in the same place for 5 minutes, my friend. 5 minutes. And I know it's hard because like you don't want to make music necessarily strictly for the listener, right? You don't just want to make songs to appease people. But if people are going to consume your work, it's kind of like a one for me, one for them kind of thing. It should serve you artistically and it should serve a listener because music, I think, is meant to be shared. But anyway, I gotta pee. We're gonna take an ad break and I'll be right back.
Replace Dropbox, Google Drive, SoundCloud Pro, Disco, and DistroKid with Boombox, the all-in-one solution for musicians. Store your files, create playlists, request files, and distribute your music from one place at a single price. Access files on the go and stay synced with our mobile app and macOS app. Dive into our AI tools to spark creativity by generating chords and splitting stems. Search for your files by mood, genre, BPM, and key with our AI-powered advanced search. Share and collaborate with time-stamped feedback, password protection, and customized access permissions. Create professional playlists for pitching with analytics to see who's listening. Release your music into the wild with our inbuilt distribution. And request files from clients and collaborators with inboxes. Boombox, the all-in-one platform for musicians.
Sorry, I don't know how long it was on the blank screen. I had to pee for a really long time. All right, before we move on to the last round of songs. Last round. I wanted to mention there's a lot of you who aren't getting feedback on tonight's stream. All right, it'd be physically impossible. You guys have seen how long the list is, right? So it'd be physically impossible for me to do all these. So I've put together a community based around feedback. You get guaranteed feedback on your music, around live group calls, just us hanging out, talking about music production, learning, growing, and then live workshops as well. So I want to put that here. If you guys want guaranteed feedback on your music and want to join my new creator class community, of course, there's a link in the description. Read the perks carefully. Make sure you have full clarity. But this is going to be a learning environment that I am very, very excited, because I have a really deep passion for making complicated things simple and for helping others with their music. You guys aren't even listening. You're just sending your songs. You don't care about what I'm doing. I'm not even going to pick any of these because I didn't say to send songs yet. Unbelievable. I'm not picking any of these songs. I'm trying to talk about my business. So, give it a check out. Make sure it makes sense to you. And I would look forward to seeing you guys there. So again, patreon.com/thecreatorclass. Put the link right there. Go check it out. All right. Let's do one more round of songs, everybody. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first 5 songs that I see after the comment, "We all listening," I promise, twin. Thank you. All right, I see Falling Down. I see Corduroy. Where did I leave off? I see 2 weeks. Final. I see 2012. Master. And then what's one after it? The Road. And Tim Martin says, "Trev is a great mentor. You should give it a shot. He seriously helped me a lot." Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you, man. All right, guys, let's get into the last round of songs. Again, if your song was not picked, there will be more of these live streams. I'm doing these every other week. I took a small little break to focus on some other things, but we're back in the swing, everybody. So the first song we're going to be looking for is Falling Down. All right. Feedback appreciated. Short, sweet, and to the point. Thank you, Lainey Day.
They say things take time. Are you wasting mine? Sorry, I just had to ask you, is on my heart like a tattoo.
Man, this is such a cool vibe, but it's way too crispy. Definitely a lot of processing on the high end, and it's too much. This has a really cool Frank Ocean vibe so far. Use some of Frank's stuff. I'm sure Frank is the inspiration to this. There's no way that Frank Ocean is not the inspiration to this, but it's a little warmer. We want to get that same warmness, just a little too bright.
And did we get too high? Should we say goodbye? It's a dream once I hit snooze, but we don't get many redos. Think I'm addicted to burning your gifts and chasing the wrong things. It's crazy.
Also dynamically, I know I talked about that one song earlier. It was okay being like brick walled. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's being added that I don't think is being represented because it's over processed, right? There's this new keyboard that was added there. It doesn't feel like it's really shining out and that it's something new because everything is being over compressed and it's like swallowing that synth whole, right? Let the dynamics breathe a little. It's okay. This is really nice, but again, way too much high end into everything. How would I carve the space out? Lainey, I would, like I said, just not over process. I would focus on like all the different elements having their own space within frequencies versus like volume and everything, right? So if you want to carve something out, instead of like removing something from something else, find where this element is the strongest frequency wise, and then EQ it according to there. Hope that makes sense. See, the thing, you have nice dynamics throughout the song. It's just everything is maxed out and it's harder for those dynamics to breathe. Because like this part is a really nice contrast from everything else that we went through. Song structure wise, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And I think it flows really well. But just because everything is like super maxed out, right? I think it makes just for a harder listen and elements don't feel like they're breathing, right? So just pull back the overall limiting, pull back the overall compression a little. But this is really good. This is really good.
Maybe that's my curse. I only make things worse. Try to play things cool, but it really hurts.
And here's the problem with over limiting and over compressing and over processing here, right? Listen how loud this part is. And then during this break, when this hit comes back in, to me, it doesn't feel any louder than the verse part. The verse shouldn't be louder than the chorus, usually. In this context, should not. But listen to physically how loud this is. Sorry, back it up. It kind of lowers the impact because the volume has been consistent the whole way through. Or if we just lighten up the chokehold of these dynamics a little bit, it'll breathe. I feel like we're moving. This part will feel louder.
Trying to carry these moves, but I keep feeling them with so am I chasing the wrong thing? Are you still calling?
Same with this part. This soft part here, where everything breaks down, doesn't feel like it's softer. How nice would it be to have a little dip? Because these sounds are really, really nice in here. I love how distorted that kick drum is. I love how distorted the snare is. I love the guitar. Sound selection wise, this sounds killer. I'm a broken record. I keep saying it's over processed, but master bus, bring it down a little. Do you guys know Music by Blanks by any chance? It's the channel that got me into making videos. He's incredible. Simon. Your vocal sounds really similar to him. It's a really, really cool tone. Oh my God. Now that I did the last of the songs, it went from like 58 people to 32. Views don't matter. It's just funny. Okay. So I see, Lainey, you just said, what could I use on the master to dial it back a bit? I wouldn't say it's necessarily about what you could use on the master. It's not about what plugins to put on this. It's about what the song needs. First, listen to the song. All right. Do elements feel cohesive? If they do, you don't need to compress a lot. I would say like the essential mastering plugins. I'm not a mastering engineer. Those guys are nerds for the right reason, because they understand. As a producer, it's hard because we have to wear like all these different hats, right? But the essential mastering, one, to me, is light compression, just to make everything cohesive. Two, it is very broad stroke tonal EQ. We're not making any crazy changes. We're just tonally shaping the whole thing to be more cohesive. Three, it's going to be some kind of stereo spreader just to push out the mid, high, and higher frequencies to get that width. And then lastly, a limiter. Not pushing hard, all right? Not over limiting. But to me, those are like the essential mastering plugins. And how you use it is going to be dependent on what the song needs, right? It sounds pretty cohesive. I don't think you need to go that crazy on a compressor and a limiter. So I'd say it's less about what plugin should I put on this versus listen to it without any master processing on, asking what does this need, right? But great job. Let's move on to the next song. Actually, there's a couple comments. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. You said last stream, when people aren't picked, they leave. It is true. And that's okay. Definitely sounded like Simon, really good vocally and writing style. Yep. I agree. Sounds like Blanks. Would I be able to pay you for only a song review? Sure. Even though I just set up a whole group community based on feedback. If you want to pay me individually, sure. All right. Next song is Corduroy. You mean like that little bear guy? And Lainey had one more question. That makes sense. Would you say the harshness is more in the vocals, instrumental, or both? I'd say it's mainly in the vocal. Because that last little bit where it was just the instrumental felt pretty good. All right, let's go.
Indifferent to the people I detest, but it harms me in a way that even I cannot detect in my own flesh and blood. I think I've had enough.
My wife would love this.
I I welcome death with open arms like an old friend I haven't seen since I was young, when young was old, when daddy did terrible things. Maybe I'd feel better then when I leave you like this. While some days are...
I would, man, there's so much goodness about this. There's so much good to this song right now. I would not compress the vocals as hard and kind of get more of a natural room sound with this. I think being a little more purposefully sloppy with something like this would really, really do the song good. Because you can kind of go two ways. The first way you can go is like the Noah Kahan way, right? That's what this kind of sounds like. But the other way that my mind wants to go to is like the like Mom Jeans, or why can't I think of any of the other pop punk emo guys right now? But it's two very different directions that you can go. So I think a little more like natural room in this would sound pretty interesting so far, but your background layers, so good. So good. Oops.
Not that bad and even pleasant, one might say. I can't control the thoughts I have. I can't control the present wave of emotion. Anxiously hoping for something or someone, for anything at all. I can't imagine a life without familiarity.
Wow, that was cool.
I can't imagine what it's like to live with certainty. I like to rewatch movies so I know the end of every scene. I know the end of everything I do, because I won't ever leave my room. It's safer here, and safety's all I want and all I need. Buried my issues here, deep within the walls, and in my dreams, in my own atmosphere is where I'll die, so let me die in peace. I'm on my final breath, my final steps. I've never felt so free, but my head's spinning. I can't help but think of who I'm abandoning, and suddenly my
Man,
chest...
what a... Hello? Hold on. Dogs are barking. Let me close the door. What a great melody to go along with all this. That flows so well, especially lyrically too. Again, I'm trying not to critique lyrics because I'm not great at lyrics. But everything just flows really, really well together. The only thing, I think some of the more percussive elements are a little underrepresented in this context. I think there could be a little more thump, because I'm pretty sure, listen. Yeah, that kick drum in the background, I think I could feel it a little more. But other than that, like, those outside vocal layers hit the spot. Those are so perfect in there. I would not change those at all. They sound so good in there.
Get out and like this, I say with strength I haven't felt before, and that's when it finally hits. With my hands sweating, climbed down from the ledge I once saw so threatening, but it don't cause me fear no more. My fingers touch the fabric of my jacket made of corduroy, reminding me of Brentwood and the things that I would die to see.
Hold on.
The things that I would die to see.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. All right. We're back in it. Oh my God. All right. Totally different vibe than I thought. I thought that those were the drums. Like, I thought that was the exact drums from the new 21 Pilots song, The Contract. It sounds exactly tonally like that. So now that I know that this is where we're at, all right, level wise, that is the highest energy level it has been so far. Dynamically, we got to tone this down a little since we're getting to here, because I don't feel like I'm in a different place. And this part hit. It hit hard and it hit great. I absolutely love it. But want to make sure that this part isn't on the same level as this. All right. Again, I don't know how you process this in total. But we can dial back some of those dynamics. You really want this part to hit a lot harder than this first acoustic part. Otherwise, it sounds like we're in the same section, even though I know we're in a new section. I want to feel it more. But man, what a great little section that was. Oh my God.
Corduroy, I know what I stand to lose. My life, my soul, my time, my home, my thoughts, my sweet and sour youth. I can't let go of who I was, but I can carve myself in two. And I can pick up both the pieces and let everybody choose. Yeah, it's all in your mind, boy. It's all in your head. Leave it all behind. You can finish when you're dead. I'll be waiting for you here when this madness finally ends. Remember who you are. Don't forget it when your head's been stuck in a room with the television on while you
There's so much clarity. You do a really, really good job of making sure that the important things are heard. All right. Everything's working together the right way. But again, I think just because of how hard everything is pushed right now and how flat everything is brick wall wise, it's not letting some of the background elements breathe a little. Like I hear a lot of it sounds like distorted guitars in the background. It sounds like there's strings in the background as well, but it's kind of harder to hear that because it's just a little overcranked. All right. But man, it is clear. It is very, very clear.
Hello again, it's nice to see you're back. Did you like the things you saw, and do you finally understand why I wear corduroy? I really like corduroy. Hello my friend, anything you'd like to ask? Any unresolved pollutions in your head that make you gag? I'm just one call away.
Wow, what a lyric.
So please don't be afraid to call me back.
Wow, that was a really killer production. That was really, really good. Again, yeah, I would love to just see some more dynamics throughout this part because the evolution of this, I did not see this coming at all. And it was a really, really pleasant surprise. But let's just get this part down a little. We can let this part breathe a little more. But man, what a good song. That was really, really good. All right, let's move on to the next, which is going to be 2 weeks final mix. What was the song? I just forgot what it was. 2 weeks. Hey Trev, me and my band are recording a punk rock album. Hell yeah. Perfect time. You guys have been I've been gaming. I've been playing the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Well, the remaster. So I'm in my punk rock era. I'm in my skater boy era. Let's go. Let's listen to some punk rock. Started mixing about 6 months ago when we decided to make a DIY album because cheap. So don't be too harsh. Don't be too harsh. You're in the wrong space. By the way, this is our drummer's grandpa dying. Oh, fuck. This is about our drummer's grandpa dying, so enjoy. Damn it. You know what? No, a song's a song. I'll still be harsh. I'm cool with it. It's feedback. That's what we're here for. Way too quiet. All right, so yeah. Overall, way too quiet. I try not to be like too critical about like overall volume. All right, as long as it's not blowing out my ears, as long as there's dynamics, you're good. But too quiet, and then everything just kind of feels like it's just crammed in there a little bit. Doesn't really feel like there's a lot of depth. A simple way to fix that is to kind of look at your layering and everything in like different frequency zones. Sounds like there's layered guitars in there. I would have a guitar that focuses mainly on the low end aspect of the guitar, a guitar that focuses on the high end aspect, and then pan those. Get them a little wider, because right now everything just kind of feels tuna canned, right? Let's keep going. The guitar headstock by my head is awkwardly long. This one? It is a little long, isn't it? It's as big as my head. My head is big too. Sorry. So right now, it's mainly a matter of level imbalance. I think the actual vocals, the guitar tones, all that can work really, really well. It's just it's not nothing feels leveled right. The vocals are like really on top of everything else. The guitars really only the snare drum and the ride are coming through. Add some support there. Whether it's layering samples, whether it's remixing the drums themselves. The drums are really clear. But yeah, it sounds like a big level imbalance right now. And be careful about overprocessing the hi-hat as well. It's good because like the hi-hat sound is kind of thin. It doesn't really like cut through disturbingly, but it's so airy and so sizzly that it just sounds like one static fuzz instead of 16th or 32nd, whatever the fuck notes these are that are playing on the hi-hat, right? So I'd bring the highs down a little on those and bring the overall, like I would rely more on the overheads of the drums than the close mics. That's what these drums sound like. I would look at like the overhead picture as your total tone, right? And then all the close mics that go under that, those are just there to be supplementary. All right. They're there to fill the body versus, mixing all the close mics. And then the overheads are just looked at as rides and crashes, right? It's about supporting the overhead image. Yeah, I wish I could turn this up a little. I'm maxed out everywhere. Kind of sounds like Offspring. You have a very similar voice to that. I would almost use Offspring tracks as your reference. Listen to the spatialness of those. Listen to the drums of those. All right. I think the drums are missing some more of that room sound. Everything feels a little too sterile in that regard. And elements are also competing pretty heavily too. Also, vocal processing Sounds a little thin there. Not sure what you're carving out there. But yeah, could sound a little more full. And even if you're getting like a different effect, right? Even if it's like kind of like that radio compress effect, you're still carving a little too much out of the mid range there, I think. Just sounds a little thin.
Day 10 to 11. Still didn't see your face, but we're running out of time. Remember when you used to pick me up from class? Your story told, I called you a mess, but I've never intended to hurt you in that way. Day 12, I felt all of this pain, closing my eyes to stop the tears from falling.
Yeah, like listen to how loud the vocals are over top of everything else. Try listen for the kick drum. Can't really find it. It's mostly guitars, vocal, hi-hat. So yeah, overall, better balance. All right. This is why, again, I always advocate for like mixing in mono. Because if you're mixing, I'm assuming you're mixing in stereo. All right. I hate to assume. But a lot of times when you're mainly doing things through stereo and you don't check it through mono, you don't really get a sense of what's competing with each other. If you bring all of these things right to the middle, the vocals are going to like overpower everything else way more, right? So yeah, I would just go back to the mixing stage and just try to have a better sense of clarity for everything else. But good song. Let's keep moving on to 2012 Master. Hi, this is my band's latest single, 2012. We're a small Scottish alternate indie band called Indoctrination. We recorded this single in our college's music department. Hope you enjoy. Wanted to add that this title is like the date, not year. Oh, 20th of December. My apologies. I assumed.
I'm not warmed up, okay? I don't warm up my voice. It's been a year since you figured out my life. I dropped a million hints until you finally got me right. We talked for days, then we talked all through the nights, planning how to say and how to do it in my...
God, I wish I had a Scottish accent. Unbelievable. Can you believe that I was put on this earth without a Scottish accent? I'll keep it playing.
The accomplice to my crime. The accomplice to my crime.
Again, just like some of the other songs, as far as like the vocal performance itself, I would be a little more dynamic with the way that you sing, because you kind of just sound like you're here the whole time, right? Be a little more dynamic. Play with those dynamics. But yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, the last 400 days are a blur. It's something that I finally come to terms with. Then again, a second thought it.
It's a really cool natural sound. I dig the dryness of it. The thing that's throwing it off for me is the vocal processing, and again, the vocal tone itself. Because I think the song itself, like some of the individual elements, I think need a little more processing just to kind of liven them up a little. The drums sound a little flat, just because I think the overall drum bus picture could be a little compressed harder. But yeah, I think the flatter vocals are kind of just keeping the energy here. And we don't have to have this over the top energy, right? Like we don't need to do that. But we can get closer to that energy. Be a little more lively with it.
400 days of me. It's hard to hide it when it feels so free. And
Good layers, really good layers.
'cause I already fought
All right, during this part, I think there's just a little too much going on melodically. I try to, personally I try to work in rules of 3. Oh shit, am I a fucking wizard? Did you hear those bars? I just sound like a Riddler. But yeah, I never try to let 3 elements kind of melodically go off at once. Right now you have the drums, which are doing a lot. All right. They're shuffling around the kit. You got a bass that is just flying all over the place melodically. It sounds good. It's just, and then you have this guitar, which is also doing something else. So all 3 of these things are doing something else melodically. And it's a pretty bare song. All right. There's really only 3 elements going on here: drums, bass, guitar. And all those things are just doing different things. Try to make at least one of those things cohesive to the other. So in this case, I would do it with the bass. I would make the bass a little more cohesive with the drums, or make the guitar more cohesive with the drums. That way the bass can fly. Because there's just a little too much going on with all the instrumentation.
It's still not true. Tell him at my bedroom door. It began with you, but it's not a secret anymore. Call it another year. Meet me back here when it's time. I hope I look so different. You just recognize my eyes. You just recognize my eyes.
Real quick, I see a question I would love to answer. Sorry for interrupting the track, but I think this is a good question. Hayden Bryant Audio says, do you think audio engineering is a viable career? Is this your primary income? I've been studying for 1.5 years and interning. God, I can't read from here. I've been studying for 1.5 years and interning, and I haven't had any success yet. I'm thinking of switching careers. I'm not an audio engineer. I'm a producer. A little different. I think having a career in music when it comes to like either engineering or producing, mastering, instrumentation, I think all of that can be a viable career. I think to bank on it as a successful career is a little silly. Even to this day, I'm surprised that I am here. It is not my main source of income. I help musicians with their music. That's kind of mainly what I put my focus on. I compose music for brand campaigns. I have several different streams of income myself. So the one important thing, if you want it to be a viable career, I'll make this really quick so we can get back to the feedback. If you're not good at networking, and if you're not good at connecting with others and forming meaningful relationships and putting the person over the work, meaning not focusing on the work, rather focusing on your connection with the person, then you should be successful. Obviously, there's no guarantee with things, but I would try to focus more on building the relationships than seeking the projects, because those people are going to, be your lifelines. If you get 10 people who are really interested and invested in working with you because of how good the vibes are, as silly as that is to say, they'll feed you for life. All right. So just focus on the relationship versus the skills, technical, the project. That is my best advice of how to make anything musical a viable career. It's about the relationship that you have with others. But let's keep going.
You just recognize my eyes. Oh, the last 400 days are a blur. It's something that I finally come to terms with.
I'd love to hear some more variation in the vocal tone as well, because it's kind of like the same thing the whole way through as far as how the vocals are treated. It's the same reverb sound, same. I think there's a tiny delay on there. I can't really make it out. But yeah, maybe try treating it differently per section. Like maybe during the chorus, you have a little more reverb on the vocal. During the verse, maybe it's a little more dry. Because yeah, it just sounds kind of like just the same thing the whole way through. The vocal layers are fantastic, by the way.
And again, I second thought it. Oh, the last 400 days have been me. It's hard to hide it when it feels so free. Cause I already fought it.
It's kind of hard for that guitar solo to breathe. It kind of just, again, everything feels like it's just stuck at the same volume the whole way through, right? Your vocal is like the same volume as the guitar solo. So like whenever you come back in, it doesn't really feel like anything's dipping out, coming back in. It all kind of just feels like we're at the same level the whole entire time. It just kind of feels like it's dragging on a little bit.
It's been a year since you figured out my life. I dropped a million hints until you finally got me right. Call it another year. Meet me back here when it's time. I hope I look so different. You just recognize my eyes.
Yeah, in this part, that shorter delay in the reverb, it's kind of getting in the way of the softness of everything because it's so present. Dial that reverb and delay back a little bit to let your vocals just naturally exist with the acoustic elements. Because yeah, that delay and reverb is a little too loud.
You just recognize my eyes, the accomplice to my crime.
Oops. So yeah, it's cool. I think it needs some more just overall production. I don't think you should overproduce it and add all these crazy layers to it necessarily, but just a better balance, a better relationship, and more of emotion than just kind of stagnant the whole time. You know what I mean? All right. And we have come to, my friends. Get ready. Hold on. This pun is going to be so good. Here we go. We've come to the end of the road. Oh shit, I ripped out my headphones. You dumbass. We've come to the end of the road. Last song of the evening, my friends. So this is The Road. Chase Davenport. Hey, Trev. I'm a working musician and producer from North Carolina, and this is an attempt at shoegaze-style songs similar to Have a Nice Life and Planning for Burial. Love the channel and keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Chase. Thank you. Let's get into it. Oh, wait, is this Shrek? Shrek said, "Ay." Because you submitted, if this is Shrek, I think you submitted, oh, it is you. It is Shrek. Oh, hell yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, it's you. All right. That's what I thought. All right. I'm going to break your heart, Shrek. All right. It's all over the place, my friend. It is all over the place. All right. We got this weird strumming thing over here. It sounds like a shovel hitting a trash can. Then we have the most distorted out tone on this side. Oh, it's not you? Oh, you're Lee Hewitt. Oh, we already went over you, Shrek. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chase Davenport. You are not Shrek. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Now I know that Shrek's real identity is Lee Hewitt. I'm telling everyone. My bad. But yeah, too much going on. This shit's all over the place, my friend. I would try to just tame something, get more of a solid rhythm there. Vocals are sliding all over the place. Just tighten it up. Be a little more confident. Get it a little tighter. I have faith in you. I know, Shrek, it's not you. I messed up. What is the reference here? It's really hard to understand what's going on here. Because to me, an average Joe, it just sounds like a lot of noise. Yeah, you got to simplify this. It's not like I'm not making out what the words are. This element over here, it's so fucking distracting, man. Like, I would just find something to have a more solid rhythm, because this does not feel like it's built on a good foundation. It feels like it's going to collapse at any moment. Again, I'd love to know the reference, because this is kind of hard to listen to. Not because it's bad. Like, I'm not saying it's hard to listen to because it's bad. It's just it's think about your listener. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna put you through this now. That's what it feels like I'm listening to this whole time. Respect the listener. It's far too harsh. It's really disruptive, and it's far too distracting, and I can't focus on anything else about the track right now. So just keep that in mind. All right. My dog, I can't listen. I'm sorry. I cannot keep listening to that sound. It's driving me bonkers, driving me bananas. I'm going to fast forward. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding the point and purpose of this. One, the vocal is just like here the whole time. It's not going. There's nothing in the song. Even when we change the chord progression, like it doesn't feel like we're moving with the song, right? And yeah, just dynamically, that fucking guitar on the right side is driving me crazy, dude. I'm sorry. It is driving me absolutely crazy. I'm about to crash out over the sound. I'm sorry. I'm going to fast forward. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm like, it's too harsh. I'm sorry. It's far too harsh. It like I said, it just doesn't sound like you have a purpose for what this song is. So I would go like before your creative sessions, I would plan ahead. You know, what am I going to make during the session? Start with the end in mind. Think about the listener. Cause yeah, this is, I'm sorry. I cannot make it through it. It's really bothersome, that element. But I'd love to hear you submit something again. So I'm sorry that I didn't cover the whole song there. That's my B. But my friends, we've reached the end. Jax wants to know what my favorite guitar in my collection is. I don't know. I really like the Juniper Rubber Bridge. I also like the Del Sol I just got. That thing is freaking awesome. I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I was about to crash out. It's true. I crashed out. But want to say thank you. You know, I got a couple minutes. If you guys have any like production questions, I'd definitely love to answer that because I got a few minutes. But definitely want to thank Boombox again for sponsoring the stream, for being friends of the channel. I love doing these. I really do. I genuinely look forward to doing these every other week. Shrek wants to know what my favorite song has been tonight. I don't know. There were a couple really good ones tonight. There were some really, really good ones. I don't have a favorite. They're all my favorite. User 403. How's the new Tony Hawk game? It's good, but it has bugs. All right? It's got bugs. I have it on Nintendo Switch. Might not be the best platform to have it on. I feel like I got the least amount of love when it comes to remaster. Because when I'm like looking up how to unlock things on there, other people's footage is like so good. And mine is ass. But it's fun. Whoever just said that they submitted songs, Joshua Tolley. I'm sorry, buddy. We're all done feedback. I'm sure I would like it. But we're all done here. But thank you guys for joining me. Again, let me put one more time. Trevor will never have a gaming channel, no. It's every other week we're doing these, not every week. Every 2 weeks we're going to be doing these. Thanks, Trev. Sorry about that. That's actually what I needed someone so I can do some better work. Yeah. That's not the end of the world. Like it's just keep the listener in mind. You know? Think about what a listener is going through while they're listening to something. Is that sound the whole time? Is that going to help? Or is it going to hurt? Oh, one more time. I'm going to put the creator class down in the comments. And for those of you who have stuck around, if you use this code, you'll get 50% off your first month. So that way you can just see if you like it. But I'm planning some things for August. It's going to be fun. But thank you guys so much again for watching. And I'll see you later this week in next video. You guys have a great night. Have a safe weekend. See you later.